Welcome back, class. In the previous lecture of Ishwaran the storyteller, we discussed about Mahendra, Ishwaran, the daily life of Mahendra, daily life of Ishwaran, and the big beast elephant. How the Ishwaran used to narrate the story in his poetic and his dramatic talent, and Mahendra was simple guy who used to listen his story every day to make his night beautiful. And in the previous lecture we also discussed how the last scenario was elephant was destroying the garden of the school. All the teachers and the staff were watching from the rooftop, and suddenly the great Ishwaran walks from stairs to the downstairs in the open area where the elephant was dhamachakdi doing, and he brought a cane, and it was the situation. Now we will continue from this portion. Okay. Yes, we also said that we also read okay, this was the situation where all persons who were watching elephant suddenly horrified after watching this kid, and it was they were for a second they were hypnotized because they realized that this kid is gone. Literally, he will die. He will. Okay, so at that moment. And at that time, you can't understand what's going on inside the mind of the kid also. See, the elephant was, at that scenario, in that scene, it was like he, in his trunk, he has a huge, timber, a huge, branch of a tree, and he was rotating like this with his shoe, suddenly in the trunk. And when he caught the kid, he stopped the throne, and with his red eyes, he was watching the kid. And with that, the cute little kid was watching with his innocent minor eyes, little eyes. Now, the kid, now kid is the Ishwaran as a kid says something in a direct speech, like starts from I. I was frightened also. I was also horrified. It stamped his feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. That he first of all, that elephant throw out that the timber, and he used to do like this stamp, and he was splashing the mud from his foot. But I moved slowly towards it. Stick in hand, people were watching the scene hypnotized from the nearby housetops. The elephant looked at me at red eye, ready to rush towards me. I lifted his trunk and trumped loudly. At that moment, I moved forward and mustering all my force, whacked its third turning on the quick. Yes, now it was like Bahubali scenario. Chota Bahubali and the great elephant. If both these living things were in front of each other, this elephant was in anger. I don't know whether he was in anger or whatever, but he was in red eye. It seems that he is in anger. And this kid, what's going on in his mind, why he was there? So let's continue. He was in front of this elephant with a cane. He was ready to rush on that kid, and he was stamped. And he was like, first he trumped with his trunk, and not trunk, and then the scene was like elephant and kid, both the living things in front of each other. He trumped and ready to rush on over it. He was like, okay, I'm on now. But he was very brave kid. He was the great Ishwaran. He was very brave. So he was like, okay, come on, I can do. You don't know what the hell is going on with this guy. So the beast looked stunned for a moment, then he shivered from head to foot and collapsed. He suddenly saw that, and it was like for him. Suddenly, mustering all my force. He did this key suddenly, it was like he also got stunned, and suddenly he shouted very loudly that elephant, for him like something very thunder happened. So he also stood there on, and on the third knoll on the quick. The beast looked stunned. Their elephant got stunned for a moment and it was shivered from head to foot and collapsed. At this point, Ishwaran would leave the story unfinished and get up mumble. I will be back after lighting the gas and warming up the dinner. Mahendra, who had been listening with rapt attention, would be left hanging. See, here the story has been paused. What happens after that? What elephant did the elephant kill that kid or the elephant got collapsed? But here the story, here the Ishwaran said that now stop. I have to warm the dinner. I have to make the dinner. It is already prepared. Make it warm for you. And Mahendra, who was out of the sky while he was listening the story, he was observing and visualizing the scenario. So he suddenly he got hanging. That what is going on? I was in full interest and he was just throwing the story here and moving there. He was so confused. The situation was like let make it very confusing and very surprising. And some of the elements should be stunned, remain stick here only, so that he will take interest more and more in the next portion. When he returned, Iswaran would not be of the right way. Mahendra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending. Well, a veterinary doctor was summoned to revive the animal. Iswaran was shot casually. 2 days later, it was led away by the Smoham to the jungle. Okay. So, and after the dinner, Mahendra reminded the Iswaran that your story is incomplete. You have to conclude it first of all. So, because the Iswaran forgot about what I have told earlier before dinner, so he continued the story and he said that elephant, he was he was go to the hospital and made shifted to the hospital, shifted to the veterinary doctor. Then he inspected him and treated him. And after that, Mahavar has to be reached that in the jungle, because that elephant may cause very harshly destruction in the village. You know what? In Kerala, we have lots of elephant in in the village only, But in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, it's not like this. In Kerala, in Tamil, there are usually some of the Mahavad are there. Mostly in a society, in a state, in a city, there may be chances that there will be 2 to 3 Mahavads. Okay, and I don't know what kind of culture is there, but what they used to do with the elephants? In the yes, the elephant is mostly used for marriage scenario. Like in India, in our culture, we used to go barat on a truck, in a car, but they symbolize the elephant as a kingdom, as a attitude, royalty. So they use elephant like this only, and in many more activities, elephant is used in Kerala. So at elephant Kerala, well, we are good with our Activa. You continue with your elephant. Our Activa never get made, never. Now, well, did you manage to do it? How did you bring down the because it has something to do with the Japanese art, I think, sir. Karate or Jiu-Jitsu is called. I have read about it somewhere. I temporarily paralyzed the nervous system using. Okay, it suddenly that kid, yes, Mahendra asked Iswaran, what you have done to that beast? How he collapsed? Iswaran replied that it's one kind of Japanese art, I think, Japanese art or a hypnotizing power that it made the elephant to collapse. And what he had done, something without touching, he just disturbed the nervous system of elephant, and he disturbed the nervous system, and after that he got stunned. So according to Ishwaran, it was like Japanese art, and Mahendra would have to remind him that not a day passed without Ishwaran recounting some story packed with adventure, horror, and suspense. Whether the story was credible or not, Mahendra enjoyed listening to it because of the inimitable way in which he was told. The story was a part, but the expressing and the narrative was the most important and interesting part. Because see, the story was very simple. That one day an elephant got mad and he suddenly hustled in the town, and across the town he destroyed many things. This was the simple statement. But the way that Ishwaran was narrating, like he was acting like an elephant. Like he was, when he used to say the statement, he used to do the same steps that in the story actually the elephant was doing. Means for him the narrating the story is not and simple. It's one kind of art. So while narrating, you have to behave like a hero of the story. Are you getting the point? So this, because of this, unexpected scenario, the unexpected activities which was performed by the Ishwaran, that Mahendra got in, means he was getting interest more and more. He was taking more and more interest in the story because of this activity only. Ishwaran seemed more than wake up for the absence of a TV in Mahendra's living quarters. One morning when Mahendra was having breakfast, Ishwaran asked her, "Can I make something special for dinner tonight, sir? After all, today is an auspicious day. According to the tradition, we prepare very delicious to feed the spirits of our ancestors today." So one day that night is over. Now in the morning, Mahendra he was taking his breakfast, and suddenly he came up, our Ishwaran guy, and he asked her for prepare delicious food in the dinner, because he told that this day is a very special day, very precious day for their ancestors. At this moment, at this day, they used to prepare the delicious food and they used to feed the ancestors, the spirit of the ancestors. The night Mahendra enjoyed the most delicious dinner and complimented Ishwaran on his culinary skills. He seemed very pleased to, but unexpectedly launched into a most garish talk involving the supernatural. Mahendra thinks that yes, making delicious food is well and good, but that supernatural, super richest thing that he believed, that Ishwaran he believed that this day we should feed our ancestors. How your ancestors will feed, how the spirit of ancestors will feed. This concept was not, it was not gathered by the Mahendra. He was not able to, that take from his mouth that statement that this day I have to feed the spirit of ancestors. And at the statement at that moment, Mahendra was like, how it is possible? You can do that kind of stuff. If you can't do, then why you are believing in it? So the believing scenario, the situation was like believing the superstitious or not. But Mahendra was no. He was like, it is not possible. So don't speak to that kind of stuff in front of me. But he was not used to do that with Ishwaran. He used to just think in his mind. Sir, this entire factory area we are occupying was a burial ground. He started. Mahendra was jumped out. The legend repeated into a plus understanding. I knew on the first day itself when I saw human skull lying on the path. Even now, I came across a number of skulls and bones Ishwaran continued. He said that Ishwaran said to Mahendra, that, sir, the factory that is constructed on the land, it is already, a prasthan, a graveyard where the mostly people has been died and been buried. So Ishwaran told that usually I came across many skulls and bones. So Mahendra said, yes, you are right. He went on narrate how he sometimes saw ghosts at night. I am not easily frightened by these things, sir. I am a brave fellow, but one horrible ghost of a woman which appears off at one end at midnight during the full moon. It is an ugly creature with a matted hair and shriveled face like a skeleton holding the fetus in its arm. So now he continues the story. Now he starts a new story of ghost. Ishwaran starts a new story of a ghost that he said that I am a brave guy. I am a brave guy, but I was frightened. I was horrified with the ghost. That she was a woman, and at the night, she was like which appears on a midnight, the full moon. He was not sure it was ugly creature. Mahendra shivered at the description and interrupted rather sharply, "You are crazy, Ishwar. There are no such things as ghosts or spirits. It is a full of figment of your imagination. Get your digestive system examined and maybe your head as well. You are talking nonsense." So Ishwaran, that no, Ishwaran, no. Mahendra said that it is not possible. It's not. There is nothing like ghosts and spirits. Okay, you are just a creativity of your imagination, and it's in your head only. Okay, just shut up. So please, you have completed your dinner. Now get some, take some nap. Sorry, get just walk for a digestion. So it will clear your mind from this imaginations. He left the room and retired for the night, expecting Ishwaran to sulk for a couple of days. But the next morning he was surprised to find the book was cheerful and documented as hell. Here Mahendra thought that I have, shaped some of the feelings of Ishwaran, that I am not believing in ghosts and he is believing in ghosts. But next day in the morning, the Ishwaran was like as hell. He was talkative, he was cheerful, and all the basic requirements that he required, it was there in his head. From that day on, Mahendra, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain calmness. Every night he appeared in the darkness outside the window and next to trying to make sure that there was no movement of dark shapes in the vicinity. In the vicinity means from that night, Mahendra also got distracted because of the ghost. Now, at first he was brave only, but the brave statement that I am brave was, it was something spooked inside the room of Mahendra. So, after that night, Mahendra, whenever Mahendra goes near a window to have some cool breeze, he observed that whether everything is okay or not, something is moving or not. He was just observing and he makes sure that everything is okay, so I can sleep tightly. So wherever he goes near the window, he observes the entire area, the vicinity very carefully. That in dark, somewhere something is moving or not. Yes, everything is okay. Every day after that night, every night after that night. So see the narration of the storyteller, Ishwar, he got more and more, involved in the story. That one statement, I came across a ghost. That one statement shaped the Mahendra. That from that day, every day, he was observing from the window and in the dark also. And you know what? It makes a person frightened from going inside the dark. Suppose at night, if someone says that now it's 10 o'clock, we should go for a walk at night. That statement, that don't need to go. Yesterday I came across a ghost. So that person will never go outside at night at 10. Okay. So this was the scenario for Mahendra and Ishwaran. Ishwaran, I think he's a good kind of guy, but that statement made this guy very disturbed. Okay. But they could only see a darkness with the twinkling lights and the 50 miles. As he was observing something in the vicinity, but it was nothing, it was just green grass in a black color, and it was darkness. One night Mahendra was woken up. He had always liked the admired to milk white landscape on the full moon nights, but after hearing his own story of the female ghost, he avoided looking out of his window altogether when the moon was. Yes, Mahendra told that Mahendra Ishwaran said that I came across a ghost in a full moon day. So every full moon day, earlier Mahendra, he was near the window. He used to stand and take a cool breeze and means enjoying the view of full moon day and the landscapes and many things from here to far distance. It was the early season. It was the early season for him. Means standing in front near the window like this and observing the landscape in a full moon night. For him, it was like, wow, my life is very beautiful. It was earlier days. He was observing all the things very calmly, taking a few breeze and doing something. But when Ishwaran told him that on full moon day I came across a ghost. After that, Mahendra never dared to stand on full moon day near the window at the night. Never. He was so frightened that suppose I will go near the window in the full moon day, if suddenly some woman will see me that I am staying in this room, she will directly come in contact with me. That yes, sir, how are you? So she was that much disturbed and she was that much horrified. Now, yes, one night Mahendra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to his window. At first, he put it down to a cat crawling around for mice, but the sound was too guttural for a cat. He resisted the curiosity to look out lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart. See, now the situation came where the Mahendra literally got stunned. See, what happened? Once in a night, he was sleeping and suddenly he woke up in the middle of midnight and he observed that some kind of noise is coming from somewhere else, and he thinks that it's a cat. But when he woke up and he goes near the window, and suddenly he was surprised because it was not the cat. It was not the cat. But the wailing became louder and less, and that noise was, it was like an increasing order. After a second, it was increasing in a very frightened and very horrible. This the normal noise was becoming horrible and horrible. He wailing became louder and less, and he could not resist the temptation anymore. Lowering himself to the level of his winged soul, he looked at the white sheet of moonlight. So he goes near the window, but he never dared to watch throughout the window at the night. So as the noise was going more and more, he think that this is the moment I have to look what's going on there, because I am not capable of holding that noise. It's disturbing my ear. So suddenly he ready for himself that yes, कुछ नहीं होगा, चलो, something like that. So he goes there and near the window, and there not too far away were a dark cloudy from clutching up thunder. Mahendra broke into a cold sweat and fell back into it. Suddenly, you know what? See, he goes there, and there he realized, listen carefully, that the situation get more worse. There he realized it was a cloud. The hours of shuddering was from the cloud. And Mahendra got, oh my god, it was nothing, just a cloud. Chalo se jate hain वापस जाए. In the cold scenario, he sweated very well. And finally, Mahendra broke into a close experience that began to reason with himself. And he finally concluded that there must have been some sort of auto-suggestion, some trick that is suspicious and played on. He said that it's some kind of auto-suggestion, that already he suggested himself already that something very beast is there outside. Why? Because that statement has been placed in his mind, and he squared in his mind that statement that I have came across a ghost. So he thinks that in every darkness there is a ghost. Ghosts have nothing to do, just come at night and watch each and every place. What's going on? So he thinks that there is a darkness, there will be a ghost. And there is a noise, there is a ghost. By the time he had got up in the morning, he had a bath and come out of another breakfast. The horror of the previous night had faded in his mind. His son greeted him at the door with the lunch bag in his hand. Just as Mahendra was stepping out, his son said, "Son, remember the other day I was telling you about your finger ghost with the fetus in his arm? You were so angry with me for imaging things. When you saw her son last night, I came running here in the sound of moaning that was coming from your room." The child went down and this was fine. He did not wait for the son to complete his sentence. He hurried over to his office and acted in his papers resolving the leave. Oh. Here the story gets more disturbed. Here the Iswaran said that when in the morning, that night, that shook the Mahendra very well. Next day, when Mahendra was, was getting ready for the job, and he took his breakfast and he was leaving the room. So suddenly, when he was going room, he was leaving the room. He was on the way to leave the room. Suddenly, Ishwar, he was giving him lunch, and he told him that he said that Master Sahib, your son, yesterday night, on that night, I told you about the ghost and female and the fetus in his hand. You were very angry, and yesterday night when you watched that thing, getting the statement, yesterday night when you watched that thing in your naked eye, how you feel at that time? Yesterday, because when it was morning outside, I came in your room. And I realized that there was something. So now that Mahendra got disturbed, he suddenly wrapped his Activa and bike and whatever, and suddenly goes to the company and give a resignation, and he demanded to leave the place as soon as possible. Means what? Here Vidyasagar, no Ishwaran, not Vidyasagar. Ishwaran said that yesterday night it was not a cloud. Let me explain you again that yesterday night he, woke up at midnight and he observed that there is a cloud shuttering the noise, but it was not cloud. In the next morning, he explained that she was not cloud, she was there. The woman, the ghost was there in the bushes with the fetus in his hand, and you saw, but you didn't realize. You just observed the cloud. It was right in your face, right in front of your face, and you didn't realize it. See what's happening there in our society, in this area. So that statement made Mahendra very, he was like out of this body. He was like, no, today only I will go outside from this, today only. And there he suddenly goes in the classroom. So this was a very interesting story. Today we heard about Ishwar and Mahendra. And I realized it's the most interesting story. This story made my day. This story made this morning very, very interesting. And I hope you enjoyed this story very well. It was Ishwaran and Mahendra, the two persons, Mahendra supervisor, Ishwaran, the storyteller, and the person who narrates the story in a very dramatic effect that he made Mahendra to leave that place. But I think that Mahendra was right at that night. It was the cloud only. But Ishwaran said the second statement. Let me explain to you why Mahendra got written very well. Because the first statement, ghost came, he came across the ghost, he met a ghost. That was squared in his mind. And the second statement, that sir, yesterday night you saw that woman, and that statement also gets squared in his mind. These two statements had been placed very affirmatively, very negatively in his mind, that he was forcefully believed that yes, there was a ghost at night, but I didn't realize because I was not believing in the ghost. So here the story end up, and our ninth chapter, Ishwaran, the storyteller, R.K. Lakshman. It was the most beautiful story. I hope you understand the story. Thank you very much.